Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'll be doing the Doctor Who book tag. This was created by Sabrina Handel over at Novels and Nonsense, and I was tagged by Adriana over at Perpetual Pages. So, in case you don't know what Doctor Who is, it is a long-running British TV show. It's been on for about 50 years, and it's about a character known only as the Doctor, and he travels through time and space in a vehicle known as the TARDIS, which is stuck in the guise of a British police public call box. And he kind of goes throughout the galaxy and the universe, righting wrongs, helping people, just a really good superhero guy. But he finds himself on Earth quite often. He's rather fond of this planet and the people on it. And so, the prompts for this particular tag are all based on the various actors who have played the main role of the Doctor. See, the Doctor can regenerate, and he's now currently on his 12th regeneration. So each one of these prompts is based on one of those Doctors, and each Doctor is kind of unique. Even though they're the same person, the various actors have brought their own sort of different spin on the character, different looks, different personalities, some crazy, some a little bit more subdued, but each one unique, and I love them all. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So the first prompt is the first Doctor, and the prompt is, what is your favorite first book in a series? For that, I could have gone with so many different books, but I didn't want to pick Harry Potter for a whole bunch of different ones. I tried to mix it up a little bit. And for that I went with Land of Stories, The Wishing Spell by Chris Colfer. It's a middle grade series. All your favorite fairy tales are in here. All the princesses have married their Prince Charmings and are now queens and rulers of their own little kingdoms. And these two kids kind of fall into this fairy tale book where they're all existing, and there's magic and adventure, and just a really delightful series, and I absolutely loved it. It was a great start to this series. So prompt number 2 is, what is your favorite sequel? For that, again, I could have chose so many different ones, but one of my favorite series is the Gone series, and it's about a world where a dome suddenly crashes down, and all these kids under the age of 18 are trapped within this dome. And when the second book, Hunger, opens up, it just really brings to the forefront the challenges these kids are going to face. They're on their own, no adult supervision, older kids having to take care of younger and even infants, and where are they going to get their food from? It's not going to be trucked in anymore. There's nobody growing food. It's whatever they have within this dome. They have to find a way to feed everybody, and it's just such a great series, really great sequel. Prompt number 3, what is your favorite trilogy? That was a little harder because in terms of every single book in the series, you know how trilogies, your great first book, middle book syndrome, third book, pretty good. So I had lots of issues with a couple other ones, but I thought of the one I just recently finished, and every single book was perfect, loved it all. So I went with this one, and that is the Monument 14 trilogy by Emmy Laybourne. Absolutely love this. Kind of apocalyptic, big natural disasters kind of strike the earth, hailstorms, earthquakes, everything, and these kids are trapped in a Greenway superstore on their own. And I just love the characters, the bonds they form, kind of the family, lots of excitement, lots of adventure, lots of scares, and lots of feels throughout the whole series. It just kept me captivated from book 1 all the way to book 3. Perfect trilogy. Number 4, a book with a colorful cover. So if you're familiar with the 4th Doctor, he wore this colorful scarf, very colorful personality. For that, I went with The Air Affair by Jasper Fforde. This is the British cover. I love these. They're just really, really neat looking, and I love the way they kind of have them aged looking and everything too. And packed full of color. For the 5th Doctor, you're supposed to choose a book featuring sports, because the 5th Doctor wore a cricket outfit the entire series. So I had a hard time with that one. The only thing I can come across was a manga entitled Oku, The Inner Chambers. And this is by Fumi Yoshinaga, and in it there is kendo, which is sword fighting. Book 6, a book featuring a dark and powerful villain. With that, I went with Lord Voldemort from the Harry Potter series. On this particular edition, he's right there in the back cover. Very villainous, loved the series, and yeah, just awesome character. For number 7, favorite adult or dark book, I chose The Shadow of the Wind by Kaosui Safan. Absolutely love this book. It's about a young boy named Daniel, and his father takes him to the Cemetery of Forgotten Books, where he's told he can choose one book, and he must protect that book. He comes to find out that every single other copy of this particular book is systematically being destroyed by somebody, and no one knows where the original author is, and it leaves you on quite a mystery Just a really, really good book. Can't recommend this one enough. For the Eighth Doctor, favorite romantic or romance book? That one I had a hard time with because I don't read romance books, and even contemporary fiction, there's not a lot that I read, so if there's romance in it, it's kind of minor in most of the books. The only thing I could really come up with, and this one is a book I really, really loved, and it's a different twist on a romance. It is Every Day by David Levithan, about a mysterious being known only as A, who every day wakes up in a different person's body and lives their life for that day. And while he's in the body of this one person, he falls in love with this, but the guy's name is Justin. He falls in love with Justin's girlfriend, Rihanna. And even when he changes bodies the next day, he still keeps thinking about this woman. He keeps trying to track her down. He doesn't travel too far, so he's still within, a realm where he can kind of contact her. And it's just a really, really unique story and a very, very unique romance. The next Doctor is 8.5, and he's called the War Doctor because he only really appeared in one recent episode. And for this one, the prompt says, a book you wish you could forget you ever read. Not too many that I really, really despise, but one that it just meant nothing in terms of this series. And I don't have a physical copy of it, but it is Crossed, the sequel to Matched by Ali Kandi. I love Matched. I thought it was a really unique dystopian series. You're kind of matched with your future husband and or wife. And it had a really, really captivating world building and everything and characters in the first book. But Crossed, I don't know, it began at one point. The characters just seemed to keep doing the same thing over and over again. And by the time it ended, I was right back where I started from. I thought, what was the purpose of this book? And since I hated it so much, I have yet to pick up Reach, which is the final book in the trilogy. I don't know that I ever will, because I don't feel motivated enough after reading that book. So we'll see, but Crossed would be my choice for that one. The Ninth Doctor, the prompt says, a book that made you pick up a series genre again. Because, of course, with the Ninth Doctor, there was a bit of a hiatus between the television show when it was originally on and before the Ninth Doctor. It kind of looked like the show was going off the air. The Ninth Doctor is the first sort of new generation of Doctor Who viewers. So, a book that made me pick up a series genre again. I read manga quite some time ago and kind of was into it, but not really heavily. But after I read this one, I've been on a manga kick ever since. And that is Death Note by Tsugumi Oba and Takeshi Obata. There's just an amazing series. There's 12 total books or 6 of the black bind-ups. These are just gorgeous. I love the artwork and the storyline. It's about a death note, a notebook dropped by a death god, a Shinigami. It is dropped on Earth, and a young boy finds it. His name is Light, and realizes when he comes to write a person's name in it, that person dies of a heart attack within a half an hour. And he comes to see this as a way of ridding the world of crime. And yeah, it gets really, really crazy, and it's just mental. I can't recommend this enough. It's just absolutely fantastic. The 10th Doctor says, favorite super hyped book, because this character was just crazy. I have to go with this one, The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Heard so much about this, had to pick it up, and so glad I did. This sort of launched me into reading YA. Before that, I was pretty much just reading, adult fiction and sci-fi, mysteries. But this just opened up a whole new world, and getting into YA books helped me find lots of dystopian, which are some of my favorite books. After reading, Fahrenheit 451, that was about it. Didn't know any other titles to kind of hit, but there's so many in the YA genre. But yeah, this was just a fantastic book. All the feels, amazing, amazing. Can't wait to see the movie. 11th, favorite children or middle grade book. Got to go with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Love this. You can't say enough about Harry Potter. It's just such a magical, no pun intended, world. The characters are just amazing, from Harry on to Lord Voldemort, to Harry's friends, Ron and Hermione. Just everything about it. Just love it. Love it. So the final Doctor, which we are currently in, Peter Capaldi, is the new Doctor. So for the 12th Doctor, this is the most anticipated new release, because of course we don't know what this new Doctor is going to be like. So for my most anticipated new release, it would have to be A Witch with No Name, which is the 13th book in the Kim Harrison Hollows series. is the 13th and final book in the series, and I just absolutely love it. It's adult sci-fi. There is everything in it. She's a witch and runs like a bounty hunter kind of business with a vampire by the name of Ivy and a pixie by the name of Jenks, who is just hilarious. There's werewolves and banshees and elves and demons, everything in this series, and it is just so exciting, and I love everything about it. So one of my favorite series of all time. So that's it. That's the Doctor Who book tag. I'm going to go ahead and tag Ryan over at Ryan Reads Books. I can't remember all the people that are that watch my channel that are Doctor Who fans, but if you are, please do this tag and let me know down below that you've done it. I'll definitely go check it out. Hope you enjoy this, and thanks, Adriana, for tagging me. Bye-bye.